Well, that'll be next. Again, what's really important, guys, to understand is, before I get into the specific issue, because it's an important issue that most people don't understand. Understand where we're at as a country. I'm going to have commercials coming at me galore this fall. Big Bad Mean Joe Walsh, all these things.
You won't give out any more candy, and you're a bad guy.
You read my mind. Because how wonderful would it be to be a Democrat in today's day and age? Your only job in life is to pass out candy. You don't care if it's not good for you. You don't care if it's going to give somebody a tummy ache. You don't care if you can't afford the candy. As a Democrat, as Obama and Duckworth, I'm just going to keep giving you things. Hey, you know what? Every now and then, I got to be honest with you, it would be a lot of fun to be that for a day. So along come these Republicans who went to Washington because we are broke, all of this candy isn't good for us, and so we have been there a year and a half, and I know we haven't always done it well. I know sometimes I've been on TV and I've been yelling too loud, and sometimes I've crossed the line and not been as respectful as I can be. But I'll just speak for me. I went there because I'm scared to death we're losing this thing. And I'm going to get in your face respectfully, Tammy Duckworth, respectfully, I'm going to get in front of everybody's face and say, guys, we know it. We're losing this thing. We got to grow up. So along comes the president now offering his latest piece of candy to young people. Why is he doing this? Well, maybe because young people aren't as excited about President Obama this year. Now, why might that be? What are the job prospects for young people these days?
It worked for 4 years ago, so he figures it's going to work for him
He
again.
figures it's going to work again, but now 52% of college graduates are unemployed or underemployed. They're not working. They're not excited. So what's he doing? He's running around saying, "Don't worry, I'll pay your student loans. Don't worry." Oh, by the way, our student loan debt, which is now north of $1 trillion, greater than our credit card debt nationwide. Boy, I'll tell you, I made a real tough vote a couple days ago. I was the only Republican in Illinois who did not vote to give away a piece of candy.
Right.
And I'm going to pay for it. Good God, Tammy Duckworth, they're going to put commercials in front of her. Joe Walsh again, big meanie. Wouldn't keep the student loan rate where it is. Again, I'll never shy away from saying this. The only way President Obama and Tammy Duckworth can win this year, they go to bed every night praying the American people are stupid and that the American people don't have the courage to do what's right. Because for 40-some years, government has done everything it can through grants, loans, and subsidies to make college more affordable. And what's happened? 40 years later, college is more unaffordable than it's ever been. Hey! But it's okay. It makes us feel good. More grants, more loans, more subsidies, because again, they don't think, they don't understand that the more, like you and I know, the more you subsidize something, you're at college. Imagine you run a university and you're just sitting in your office, and I'm not defending them, and you see your government every year saying, I'm going to subsidize more of that tuition bill. What are you as the college president going to do? Keep cranking that bill. Why? Somebody's paying for it. Does that not occur to President Obama? Is he just not smart enough to get that?
The laws of supply and demand got in the way.
So I made a very difficult vote 2 days ago. I said no. I didn't go there to give candy. And I can bet you dollars to donuts I'm going to get hit for it.
Already have. Sure you are.
Have I? That's okay. Thoughts, issues, questions? Yes, sir.
Speaking of premiums, you might want to ask Tammy on this. Considering
Look in the camera. She's taping our town hall. No, go ahead.
why is Obama raising health care premiums for vets, but not for federal employees?
I got a real simple answer for you. He's raising the premiums for TRICARE because he wants to put every veteran on Obamacare. Nothing more complicated than that. Shame on him. Shame on him. And shame on every Democrat who supports that. To all of our veterans, he wants to make TRICARE impossible to stay on because he wants to push everybody onto Obamacare. Why? And again, folks, sometimes life is pretty simple. This was the beauty around Reagan, one of my favorite presidents. Sometimes life is a lot simpler than we think. Obamacare, folks, is just the first step toward everybody. Can you say everybody? Everybody being on government-run health care. Veterans, you name it. Look what's happening if we don't repeal Obamacare, folks. We all live in Illinois. Right now, the single piece of our state budget that's the biggest, I know pensions are a big deal, they're up there, but the biggest and the fastest growing piece of our Medicaid. Obamacare is designed to push everybody onto Medicaid rolls. Everybody. So within 2 to 3 to 4 years, our Medicaid burden in Illinois is going to quadruple.
Yeah, but that passes the cost from the government, from the federal onto the state.
Yeah, you're right. So right,
That's exactly what the government's been doing, passing all the costs.
And what will that do? What will that do to Illinois?
We're already
Boom.
paying up like the
Boom.
United States.
Look what it's doing. Look what Obamacare's doing to Medicare. Every senior needs to know this. They're projecting within 5 to 6 years, the reimbursement rate for docs will be less on Medicare than it is on Medicaid. How many docs do you think are going to take Medicare patients? You know what? There aren't a lot taking them now. Folks, this is not some evil concocted plan in some basement somewhere. And I don't know if Obama thought of it, but I know what it is. The whole point is to move everybody onto government-run health care. Again, they don't care if it works. They certainly don't care about the debt. And TRICARE and veterans are just one piece of that.
Congress going to be on it too?
Huh?
Will Congress be on it too?
Well, you know, but what's interesting, that's a great question. What about members of Congress? Remember when those politicians 2.5 years ago first came up with Obamacare and started to push it? Do you remember they exempted themselves from it?
Oh, yeah, they always
Yes.
And they always do. And lo and
Yes.
behold,
Yes.
somehow the American people got wind of that, raised a stink, and very quietly they put Congress back onto it. But as this thing just implodes and explodes, you know they're going to find an escape hatch to them. Think the Titanic.
Yes,
What level of the boat will members of Congress put themselves on before this thing sinks?
right, exactly.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on. This is so easy. I mean, I go to bed every night exhausted because this is going to be a real tough campaign. Because the Democrats, actually, you know, it wasn't all the Democrats. It's basically pretty simple. David Axelrod and Rahm Emanuel, who are running Tammy's campaign, and Dick Durbin drew a district to elect her. They did this 6 years ago. She's never lived here. She's never been part of this community. But they think, I'm going to draw a district to elect her. I know this is going to be a tough district to win. But at least once every day, I'm like refreshed because I think but they are so on the wrong side of these issues. I mean, if most of the American people, if all they want to do is just take candy and we don't worry about how our ship is sinking, how's that for a mixed metaphor? Then I will lose. Then I will lose. But I don't think we're there yet. I just don't think we're there. I still think most Americans are going to get it. And that when I talk Medicare and I say we have got to do something about Medicare or it's gone, and I know you're probably only like 35 to 40, so this doesn't apply to you. I know he is saying to himself, doggone it, yeah, we got to do something about Medicare. You know, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 years ago it was, if I'm a 70-year-old, don't you touch Medicare. Don't you touch my benefits. I don't care if it's around for my kids. Don't you touch my benefits. No. Again, remember, that's Tammy's view. That's Obama's view. That those seniors aren't good enough and decent enough to think about future generations. I had a discussion with some of my political people 2 weeks ago. Because I've always loved to say this, we got to think about future generations. It won't be there for your kids and your grandkids. And even one of my political guys said, you know what, Congressman? Polling-wise, that doesn't register. Seniors care about where things are right now. And I said, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. The most powerful thing I heard, I'll save that. Okay. Thoughts, issues, questions, guys, about anything? Yes, ma'am. Go.
He's a foe, but when you were talking about what has happened with education, how everything they've done to make it more affordable has made it unreachable without this huge debt that then they can't pay because they can't get a job because of no Keystone Pipeline or God knows what else. Whatever. But I saw this kind of recognition on his face, like maybe he had an epiphany. But you know,
He can't get involved, he's only observing.
But
Yes,
I know,
Aaron,
I
you
know
can
he
talk
can't
if
say,
you want.
he can't say, but I.
Oh, Aaron can say something.
I don't know.
Actually, it occurred to me that I was in the Army and it paid for college, so
Hey,
I
you
don't
were?
really have that hangover. Yeah,
Thank you.
6 years.
Good job. Good job. Thank you, Aaron. Look,
Can I say something?
Well,
do.
You said he was
I
in the
think-
Army. My son's in the Army right now. How do you feel about the war in Afghanistan? Do you like that idea that American soldiers are dying in Canada?
And Aaron, there's no right or wrong answer, whatever you think.
How do you feel about that?
I was against it from the start.
And Aaron probably knows where I am publicly, where I've been publicly for a while now, probably over a year. Come home now. Come home now.
Can I say something now? You know
Yeah.
what? I'm from Centroia, Illinois. I just came back from Centroia. I've been down there for 2 weeks. I went down there and I talked about your agenda. And people down there, 100%, just like me, before I went to the first meeting, 100% against the Tea Party. When I talked about your agenda, 100%, they're absolutely deer in the headlights. Nobody in Illinois has heard about you outside of your district. If Joe Walsh was
That's kind
running,
of refreshing.
if you were running for senator today, I guarantee you'd be a shoo-in. When I talked about your agenda down there, nobody could believe it. Nobody else is saying this. Nobody but you.
Well, thank you.
I didn't finish.
No, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
You interrupt like that one more time. Go ahead.
I'm so glad you told me that, because I was okay, so about Tammy, all right. I did send her an email. Tammy, it's susanduboff@hotmail.com. I was asking her a bunch of questions. It was about Obamacare, but she didn't answer, and I can't vote for her, and I can't vote for you anyway, but I do have a large sphere of influence, and they are always asking me, and they are voters for you and for Tammy. And this debate that's coming up, May 2nd, it's closed. I mean, I just don't understand why she doesn't want people to know. How do you're saying what she believes. How do you know what she believes? You're saying she believes in Obamacare. How do you know this? All these things you said she believes. How do you know?
It's in the paper.
I mean, we're assuming because she's a Democrat.
She's
We're
backed everything
assuming-
Obama
we're
says.
assuming-
Yes.
Right, but it's an assumption, right? If you
No,
heard her
it's
say
not.
No,
it.
no. I try to, and again, sometimes I don't always do it, but I try to represent her point of view based on things she said and I've read that she said. And again, my battle is every bit as difficult as yours because she is going to be the stealth candidate. They're going to keep her away from people. And I don't mean to be, I'm not trying to be cute.
Yes.
It's going to be hard for all of us to find out where she stands.
But doesn't she see that that is a negative unless all these people she thinks are stupid?
Maybe let's.
Maybe she's right.
Can we be
Maybe
frank?
there are a whole bunch of stupid.
Can we be frank?
Yes.
Maybe that's what they're betting on. I mean, look at the way President Obama's running his campaign. Think about this. This just knocks me silly. Go ahead.
She figures the Democratic committee is gonna give her enough money to spend you right into the ground that you don't have a chance in the world. That's exactly, just like they're running the government, she's gonna run her campaign the same.